Hello, and welcome back to Gimbal's Tip of the Week. This month, we've been working through the 5 phases of the Practice Accelerator Framework, a step-by-step approach you can use to make your legal and business processes more efficient. And why do you want to do that? So that you can become more profitable and productive without spending as much time or effort. Today, we're analyzing why you work the way you do. I'm Karen Dunn-Skinner. I'm a lawyer and a Lean Six Sigma Black Belt. I'm also a global advisor on legal process improvement to the International Institute of Legal Project Management. I help lawyers and others in the legal profession build more profitable and productive practices. In the last couple of weeks, we've talked about identifying what your client wants or needs, that's define, and we've given you 2 tools you can use to establish your baseline or your current state in the measure phase and spot the opportunities to improve it. Now it's time to start asking questions. What's causing that delay, or that bottleneck, or that recurring problem? Why do you do a particular wasteful step or activity? Is it just because you've always done it that way? And what would happen if you didn't do it? It's tempting to stop with the first answer you get and focus on solving that, but you might only be addressing a symptom of the real problem. It's a bit like treating a fever. If you don't treat the underlying problem, you may find that fever comes back again and again. In the analyze phase, you're going to be looking for the root causes of your process problems so you can eliminate them at the source. We recommend an easy tool to help you find the root causes of the wastes and frustrations you identify in your processes. It's called 5 Whys, and it's simple. You start by asking why the problem you've identified is happening. Seems simple enough, right? But again, that first answer you get is unlikely to give you the real reason, the actual root cause for the frustration you're experiencing. It's likely just the superficial symptom. Think back to that fever. You might ask yourself, why do you have the chills? Well, you have the chills because you've got a fever. But you know the fever itself isn't the real problem. When you get to that first answer, you need to ask why again. And you have to keep asking until you don't have any more answers. Here's an illustration that may help. Let's say your firm is regularly filing clients' personal injury claims at the very last minute, although the filings should be pretty routine. The lawyers are frustrated and they blame the clients for the last-minute rush. But the practice group leader thinks it's because the lawyers are not managing their workload properly. Use the 5 Whys strategy to find the real root cause. Why do our lawyers regularly file clients' accident claims at the last minute? Because they receive those personal injury assessment questionnaires back from clients so late. Then you might ask, why? Why does it take the clients so long to do those forms? Because the clients put off completing the questionnaire despite the incentive of getting compensation for their injuries. Again, why? Why do the clients procrastinate? Because they need to print the questionnaire, fill it out, and then send it back by mail or maybe scan it and send it as an email. Why is the form like that? Because that's how we set it up 6 years ago. Why? Because back then we didn't have the ability to create fillable PDF forms that could be returned in a single click, and no one has bothered to go back and change it. Why didn't we change it? Because we didn't know the form was the problem. So you see where we get to? What started as a problem caused by lawyers mismanaging their workloads or maybe by clients procrastinating turned out to be a problem caused by a cumbersome form. And knowing this, you can now focus on improving the form. If you'd stopped at the first answer, that lawyers weren't managing their workloads properly, you'd be focusing your efforts on entirely the wrong issues. You've always got to dig deeper. And that's it for this week's tip. Join us next week for more on building a profitable and productive law practice. Sign up below so you don't miss it. Thanks a lot, everybody. We'll see you next week. One more thing. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to get regular training in process improvement and coaching in other key areas of your practice, like business development and pricing? That's what you get inside the Practice Accelerator membership. Learn more about it. There's a link down below.